Brooklyn and Nicola hired Weinstein's former publicist, Matthew Hiltzik, who is known in Hollywood as an attack dog, the go-to crisis management specialist, and a PR guru. They hired him in June of this year, and he certainly has been hard at work over the last 3.5 months. If you follow any sort of celebrity content, you may have noticed over the summer the wall-to-wall coverage of Brooklyn and Nicola, despite the fact that neither of them really warrants really any coverage, never mind this insane level of coverage.
They spend $100,000 to film him making a sandwich he didn't cook. They threw a $3 million wedding that ended in a lawsuit. But the real cost isn't the cash. It is the systematic deletion of the family that made him famous. We're dissecting exactly how a billionaire heiress allegedly weaponized Hollywood attack dogs, secret texts, and public humiliations to surgically remove Brooklyn Beckham from his parents and rewrite his reality. But here's the question that divides the internet. Is Brooklyn a devoted husband, finally breaking free from a controlling mother? Or is he the victim of a hostile takeover by a colder, richer dynasty that views his last name as a brand asset and his family as a liability? Pick a side, Team Beckham or Team Peltz, and let me know in the comments. Let's be very clear about what this move means. You do not hire Matthew Hiltzik to smooth over a misunderstanding about a wedding dress or to manage a simple family schedule. You hire a man with that specific resume when you are preparing for a scorched earth campaign. Hiltzik is the nuclear option in Hollywood crisis management. By bringing him in, Nicola and Brooklyn aren't looking for reconciliation. They are looking for domination. This signals a massive strategic shift from a private family disagreement to a public offensive designed to paint the Beckhams as villains and Nicola as the victim. It suggests that Nicola isn't just protecting her image, she is actively curating a narrative where she is the survivor of a toxic British empire, a narrative bought and paid for by Peltz money. They are manufacturing relevance through conflict, because without the feud, there is no story to tell. They are weaponizing the media to force the Beckhams into submission, turning a son against his father using the same press tactics that Harvey Weinstein used to silence his critics. You don't hire a crisis manager unless you plan to create a crisis.
It just sounds like an absolute mess. And then a lot of the messages too, they talk about like, do not let the Beckhams know this is a shit show. And it's, oh my God, it is really funny to read. And especially because there's like all these group chats and you see the wedding planners asking Nicola, like, please, can we have, half an hour of your time to go through this guest list because it's a mess and, we don't know these people, like we need you to go through it. And she just wants it all done over text, and they're like, well, there's like hundreds and hundreds of people, we can't just text it to you. So they make this app, and then she's like, I don't want an app, I just want it text to me. And it's such a mess. And then there's some messages where they've like taken people off the guest list, but her dad's put people on, and there's messages like, make sure that Ron DeSantis, the Florida governor, is not invited, and all of this other stuff. And the only kind of inputs from Brooklyn, they'll ask him like, how old is this member of your family? And Nicola will interject and be like, I don't trust Brooklyn with this, he's just guessing, you need to ask like this assistant or that assistant. And then the only thing that Brooklyn really has input in.
The court documents from this lawsuit reveal something far darker than just a bridezilla moment. They paint a portrait of unmitigated narcissism and paranoid gatekeeping. The text messages expose a chaotic, fear-based environment where the primary goal wasn't celebrating love, but maintaining a facade of perfection at all costs. But look closely at the most chilling instruction. Do not let the Beckhams know. There is an active conspiratorial effort to keep Brooklyn's parents in the dark, treating them not as honored guests, but as security risks or potential embarrassments. It establishes the dynamic right from the start. Nicola commands, her family executes, and the Beckhams are to be kept outside the circle of trust. It forces Brooklyn into a position where he has to lie to his mother to appease his wife. It's a classic isolation tactic, creating a secret us versus them world where the parents are the enemy who can't be trusted with the truth. It's not just disorganized, it is deliberately exclusionary, designed to sever the trust between a mother and her son before the ring was even on the finger. It wasn't a wedding planning group chat. It was a conspiracy.
Vow renewal seemed to be sending a strong message through the media about Brooklyn's estrangement from his family. As the vow renewal was officiated by Nicola's billionaire father, Nicola's family were all there. It was all over social media and pictures and all types of media coverage, but none of Brooklyn's family were even invited. Not his parents, his brothers, his sister, grandparents, aunts, no one.
Let's be real. A vow renewal after only 3 years isn't about romance. It is a territorial marking. By staging this elaborate event and explicitly excluding the people who gave him his life and his name, Nicola and Brooklyn sent a message louder than any tabloid headline ever could. This was a public excommunication of David and Victoria. It was a visual rewriting of history where the Peltz dynasty replaces the Beckham legacy, and Brooklyn is smiling while he holds the scissors. It forces him to perform loyalty to his new family by publicly humiliating his old one. This is a loyalty test, plain and simple. Nicola is creating a new core memory for the public where she and her billionaire father are the only family that matters, and the Beckhams are erased from the frame. It is a power move wrapped in white lace, designed to show the world that Brooklyn is now property of the House of Peltz. He isn't just a husband here. He's a convert who has renounced his origin story. They didn't renew their vows, they declared war.
This show, per episode, has a budget of $100,000, and there is 62 freaking people working on this show, making sandwiches that other people are making. That's what those 62 people are doing. They're making the sausages and the bacon and the egg, and then he's putting it together in a sandwich. $100,000. I will never get over this. As someone who, the first year of my channels, I literally shot and edited my videos on an iPhone because I didn't even have a laptop. But like $100,000, is there a bigger waste of money on this earth?
This level of financial grossness reveals the deep psychological root of the feud. You have to remember, David Beckham became a global icon by staying late at practice every single day, kicking a ball against a wall until he could bend it around a corner. Victoria hustled from a girl group to building a legitimate high-fashion empire. Their success is built on grit. Contrast that with Brooklyn, who spends the GDP of a small nation to assemble a pre-cooked sausage sandwich while 62 people applaud him. Nicola isolates him because his parents' genuine, hard-earned competence holds a mirror to their expensive mediocrity. It is much easier to cut off the parents than to live in their shadow while failing at everything you try. Nicola and Brooklyn bond over a shared delusion that they are moguls and creatives, when really, they are just burning cash to cosplay as talented people. If Brooklyn stays close to David, he has to face the reality of his own lack of drive. If he stays with Nicola, he gets to pretend he's a genius for frying an egg. He's a trust fund tourist in the world of actual work.
David Beckham had a ton of parties for his 50th birthday, and Brooklyn and his wife were missing from all of them. They also didn't post any sort of birthday message, and again, that sounds silly, but all of this stuff matters to celebrities, and they also usually do, and they do for everyone else in their family and friends. And it was even more obvious because Nicola's brother's birthday is at the same time as David's, and Brooklyn Beckham posted this whole message on social media for his brother-in-law, but not for his dad. Brooklyn didn't acknowledge Victoria's birthday either, or his parents' 26th anniversary. The only time he's acknowledged anyone from the Beckham family over the last year and a half was when he posted a picture and wished his grandfather, Ted, David's dad, a happy birthday, and then on July 10th, he wished his youngest sibling, his sister Harper, a happy birthday.
In the modern celebrity ecosystem, silence is violence. To the average person, missing an Instagram post seems petty, but for a brand as curated as the Beckhams, ignoring a father's 50th birthday while publicly gushing over a brother-in-law is a calculated digital slap in the face. It is emotional blackmail broadcast to millions of followers. It proves that Brooklyn Brooklyn has been fully co-opted into the Peltz hive mind. He is signaling to the world, and more importantly to Nicola, that his loyalties have completely shifted. By withholding that public validation, he is trying to hurt David and Victoria where it impacts their brand, but it just makes him look cruel. He is stripping away his identity as a Beckham to fit into the mold Nicola has cast for him. It's sad, it's public, and it's irreversible. He isn't just ghosting them, he is erasing them to please a wife who demands total submission of his past to secure his future. He traded a legacy for a like button. We are watching a family implode in real time over ego and money. If you think Brooklyn is being manipulated, hit the like button. If you think he's just an ungrateful brat who hates his parents, comment brat down below.
They were even on the cover of Glamour as a power couple, which Brooklyn's 26, Nicola's 30. He has a hot sauce range, and she's the daughter of a billionaire who was miscast in Avatar: The Last Airbender, was in Transformers 4, and her last movie that she wrote, directed, and starred in made $648 at the box office. What makes them a power couple?
This is the ultimate irony of the entire saga. They are desperate to brand themselves as a power couple independent of the Beckhams, yet their entire relevance hinges on the surname they are actively disgracing. Nicola's directorial debut made less than $1,000. That is not a career. That is a vanity project gone wrong. Without the Beckham tag, they are just two rich kids playing dress-up in her father's mansion. The isolation strategy is fundamentally flawed because they are trying to kill the host organism that keeps them famous. Nicola wants the clout of the Beckham name without the interference of the Beckham reality. They are trying to supplant Posh and Bex as the new it couple, but they lack the one thing that made David and Victoria iconic: actual talent. They are burning the bridge while standing on it, hoping the smoke will look like stardom. This isn't just a celebrity feud. It's a case study in wealth, narcissism, and family destruction. Nicola has successfully rebranded Brooklyn from a Beckham heir to a Peltz accessory. But when the PR money runs dry and the yes men go home, he might realize he burned the only people who actually loved him for him, not his last name.